Hello everyone, welcome to my studio here at home. I'm James. Today's practice will be a more traditional Hatha Yoga practice. From beginner level to more advanced, I'll try to offer some modifications for everyone. More importantly, allow the practice to suit you, so rest when you need to and modify per your body's requirements as you need to. You have to constantly scan and study yourself as you practice. Maintain a conscious breath connection as much as possible, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the nose, and again, rest when you need to. Let's go ahead and get started in Balasana, or child's pose. If your knees are a bit sensitive, you can have a blanket or a towel folded underneath the knees, a little bit of cushion maybe for your knees, and we'll go ahead and sit back onto the heels. If that deeper flexion is a bit much, if you have a block, you could sit back on a block, or you could be in a more extended puppy variation with your hips higher, resting over your knees. And you'll soften the forehead down. Close the eyes as you rest the forehead on your mat and rock the forehead a little bit left and right. Massage the third eye center, the space maybe between the eyebrows, across the center of the forehead. Deep inhale through the nose here, and exhale side out. And if that position was okay, if your knees are okay, you're probably back into more of a deeper child's pose with the sit bones resting on your heels. Again, deep inhale through the nose. Let's hold this breath at the top. Exhale and continue to breathe here on your own, lengthening breath as much as you can. Take a pause for a few seconds maybe at the top of your inhale when you can't inhale anymore, and open the mouth and sigh all the air out nice and slow. Soften the space between your ears and shoulders. Allow the neck to maybe grow a little bit longer as you draw the shoulders away from ears. Now energize the hands a bit and the arms. Your elbows are off your mat, the hands wider apart, as now you press into the hands to shift your weight back more into the heels. Deep inhale through the nose again. Exhale and sigh it out. Good. You have arrived on your mat, grounding your intention for your practice, and again, noting that you can rest anytime you need to. Deep inhale, press into the hands. Exhaling as you come up into a neutral tabletop position. Good. Now lower to the forearms. Make a couple of fists and circle the wrists around. Nod the head yes, maybe here gently. And shake the head no. As we come onto the hands, hands are about shoulder distance apart. Eyes of the elbows face forward. A little micro bend in the elbows if you need to. Press hands into the floor. Adjust your knees and your shins so that you're comfortable. You're parallel and lined up with the floor. And as you begin to come into the lordotic curve, belly down, hips up, gaze slightly forward, long neck. Inhale for Vittalasana or cow. Exhale, round back into cat, Marjariyasana. Flow with your breath here. Exhaling into cat. continue to move through Vidyalasana or cow and cat. Good. Now bring your left hand in the center. Press actively into the hands. Draw the belly button in. And start to raise and sweep the right hand arm open to the right as you inhale, reaching up nice and high. Exhale as you thread that arm through to your left. The right shoulder comes down and the right side of your head and face comes down. Tilt the chin slightly inward here as you rest on the right side. And slide the left foot heel back. And curl toes under, your top of the foot pressing into the floor. Belly button, draw it in here. Now, beginner level, the left hand is probably close to you here. You want to relax a bit through the shoulders and ears, or keep the shoulders away from ears. And then, if you want to advance a bit more, maybe you elevate the left heel hip height. And we don't want to try to externally rotate, we internally rotate to square up the hips here as we draw the belly in. And balancing on the right side. If you want a bit more, inhale the left arm high. And exhale, relax arm behind the back. You're still extending through the heel. Circle the left foot about the ankle joint nice and slow. Point and flex a few times. If you want a bit more, you're bending the left knee and your left hand reaching for the outside, grabbing the top of the foot or the ankle. Keep the knee point down and then bring in to press the foot or the shin into the hand. Belly button, draw it in. Slowly as you release, extending heel away as it floats, hand comes back, and then slowly the knee comes back. Press into the hand here, left side, and bring the right arm shoulder out. And exhale, circle it around here a few times. Back to neutral table. Inhale as you come into cow. Exhale, round back into cat. One more time. Right hand in the center. Inhale, sweep left arm nice and high. Exhale, thread the arm through. Left arm, Suchika Sutrasana, thread the needle. It's going to your right as the left shoulder comes down and it's lined up with the left knee, shin. You look to the right and you place the left ear down. Right hand near your face, maybe beginner level. You're shifting the weight to the left foot heel or the top of the left foot shin and you're extending through the right heel. Draw the belly in and all you need to do is try to lift it up hip height if you're advancing. Beginner level, the foot is back down. Breathing through the nose, Ujjayi breath, exhale through the nose. And maybe if you're advancing here, inhale right arm high. Exhaling arm behind the back, it takes to wrap. Maybe even the fingers find the inner crease of the left thigh, upper left thigh. And then circle the right foot about the ankle joint here nice and slow. Curl toes closed, fan toes open, point and flex. If you want a bit more, you're bending through the right knee, it's still floating. Right hand reaches for the top of the foot or the shin from the outside. Keep the knee point down and then begin to press the foot shin into the hand. Slowly as you release. Extension And then nice and slow. Right hand comes back, then the right knee and shin comes back. Nice and easy. Lift yourself here. Raise that left arm back up high. And exhale, circle around a bit, releasing through the shoulder girdle. And make sure you go the other way also. Good. Back to neutral tabletop. Curl toes under as you inhale. Exhale. Knees off the floor just a few inches here. So beginner level, you might be still resting with the knees, a bit more advanced. Now the knees are hovering just a couple of inches off the floor. Pull the belly in, and now notice the scapula here as you press and you get scapular elevation, and as you exhale, you descend a bit here. So do this a few times. Inhaling. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Now you start to pedal the feet out. Beginner level, if you have 2 blocks of even height, then your hands are on your blocks. And pedal out and walk the dog here, or bicycle it out a little bit. Nodding the head yes, and shaking the head no. Extension across the backs of the legs as much as possible. Hollow out the lower belly. One more breath. Bend knees as we inhale. Exhaling, walk or step forward. And here we lift, lengthen halfway with our inhale. And we rest the forearms on the inner thighs here, on top of the thighs. Now, we want the neck to sort of grow a little bit longer. So we'll draw shoulders away from ears and extend the crown of the head forward. The belly button will pull it into the spine. And gently as we rotate here, slowly shaking head no. And nodding head yes. Noticing the sensations in the neck. And throughout the practice, I'll mention to gaze in certain direction, but I want you to always be aware of how your neck feels before you begin to turn, right? So always mindful with the neck as you turn and throughout the practice as you look in different directions. Now slowly go ahead and relax into a forward fold. Maybe your hands are catching opposite elbows as you sway and ragdoll here side to side. If you have vertigo or hypertension, you want to stay up a little bit higher. You don't want the head to be resting too low. And the same with the downward facing dogs. You might not stay there as long, okay? So be mindful of that. Good. Now go ahead and relax the hands down. And hands to the floor or to the block. March in place a little bit here. Try to keep your feet flat. And allow the knees to sway back and forth, right and left, and the hips are moving with them. Good. Slowly, as you're going to go ahead and roll up with an inhale. Exhaling, shoulders shrug them up, back, and down. Now extend the arms, hands out here. And energize the hands. Fan the fingers open. And begin to rotate through the forearms and the biceps and the triceps and the arms here, right? Rotate forward and back, forward and back. Keep the fingers fanned open here. Now open, close hands. Open, close hands. Make a fist, open, close several times. Make a fist and circle the wrists around with the hands extended out and away. And notice that extra stretch you get through the forearms and the biceps as you rotate here with the wrist, but you're really energetically reaching apart. Now go ahead and soften, relax the shoulders down. And cupcake the hands here, bring the hands on top of the shoulders. And begin to circle here, forward, right? Good. And backwards. Heel toe the feet close together. Stand nice and tall. Belly button, draw it in. Keep it in there. That's that internal lock we call Uddiyana Bandha. Tailbone, draw it underneath you here as you squeeze the glutes just a bit here, and then press the feet into the floor as you activate the thighs a bit more. And this is your internal lock, your pelvic floor lock, we call it Mula Bandha. Stand nice and tall. Close the eyes and take a deep, slow inhale. Exhale it out. Blink the eyes open. Let's begin. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Modify your Chaturanga if you need to. Beginner level, knees down. Hug the elbows in. You don't need to go too low. Be mindful of the shoulders. Inhaling, lazy, upward facing dog. Exhale, lower down. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Wiggle the legs, thighs a little closer together. Tops of the feet press down. Activate, energize the thighs, and maybe hover the hands off the floor. A low baby cobra. So your glutes are engaged, your thighs are active, so your kneecaps are off the floor. But the tops of your feet are pressing down. Neck, we keep it long, crown of the head extending out of the spine, away from the spine, shoulders away from ears here. Take another breath. Exhale, hands back down, curl toes, beginner level. With your inhale, you come to table, and then downward facing dog. More advanced, you're pressing, coming into plank with inhale. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Settle the heels down, feet about hip distance apart. Nod the head, yes, shake the head, no. 5 cycles of breath through the nose. Bend knees, inhale. Exhale, step, walk, or maybe hop forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale as we rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi, equally standing. Inhale, we come to chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Settle the heels down. Take a breath. Right foot heel, inhale it like it's floating through water here. And exhale that foot all the way through. Compression through the core as you press floor away, so that you try to get the foot as close as you can to land in between your hands. Sometimes I'll cheat and I'll come onto the fingertips of the right hand. That gives me a little bit more height. But over time, we want to avoid doing that. Back foot heel comes down. Rise, warrior one. Now exhale, beginner level. Your hands are to heart center and you're up a little bit higher. We want to draw the right hip back, belly button in. And you slightly heel to the right foot to the right. This will allow you to square up the hips facing forward more. A bit more advanced, you try to line up the heel to arch or heel to heel, and then you're coming a little bit lower. Maintain lift and length out of the waist. Inhale, sweeping arms up high. Exhale, sink a little bit lower, reach up, look up, and palms touch. Draw the shoulders down here, and your back foot heel is glued down. Ujjayi breath. Exhale your hands back to the mat. Pivot and pick up your right foot, step it back, inhale. And chaturanga as you exhale. Modify if you need to. Transition. And downward facing dog as you exhale. Pedal it out, walk the dog once or twice as you bicycle it out, and settle the heels for a breath. Left foot, inhale it high. And exhale it through. Back foot heel comes down. Heel line, or slightly your left foot is to the left here. So that as you inhale and you come up, you exhale and you're drawing your right pelvis forward and your left hip back so you can square up more facing forward. Now beginner level. And your hands are here. You're gradually working on the adjustment through the hips and pelvis to face forward. A bit more advanced, you've already made that adjustment, and you're inhaling, floating up with the arms. And exhale, you're sinking a little bit lower. Maybe you look up, reach up, and palms touch. Draw the shoulders back down, suck in the belly. Your back foot heel is glued down. Inhaling, exhale, hands travel back down, pivot and step it back or high to low. Exhaling, maybe Ekapada if more advanced. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. Exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Settle the heels. And now again, fan the fingers wide open here. Press floor away as much as you can. So the head is moving in the direction of the thighs towards the knees. And maybe you look to the feet towards the knees or up towards the belly. Bend knees, inhale. Exhale, step, walk or hop forward. Lift, lengthen halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale as we rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Hands rest by your sides. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down again. Shake the head no, and nod the head yes a few times. Circle the wrists around, and stand nice and tall. Inhaling, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. This is where back is flat, neck is long, belly draw it in. If your hands don't reach the floor, maybe your hands are on your shins or your hands are on your blocks. But lift, lengthen halfway, pull that belly in. Now, we initially shift the weight into the heels, and then we shift the weight more into the balls of the feet as you draw the belly in. So you're extending through the crown of the head forward, and then you're trying to soften into the fold here. Take another breath. Now keep a little bend in the knees and about 2 fist distance between your feet. Let's say about 4 to 6 inches between the feet here. Keep the knees bent, rest the belly on the thighs. Interlace hands behind the back, and it could be a loose interlace, so you don't have to clamp the palms together initially. Over time you can. Send the hands away, shoulders away from ears, neck nice and long. Inhale. And exhale, the hands up and overhead. Belly can continue to rest on the thighs with your knees bent, or you're gradually extending as you draw the belly in with a little internal rotation through the legs to really ground the feet down as you activate through the quadriceps. And Uddiyana Bandha, belly button, draw it in as you send the hands up and overhead for a stretch. Softly bending knees, and simultaneously the hands, arms relax and come back. So you can bring the hands back down and lift, lengthen again with inhale halfway. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back, high plank. High plank inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees down. Now, you'll have to adjust your hands maybe just a bit so that you could start to relax the pelvis and belly forward and down. And you could be a little bit wider with the feet and the shins apart. Now, really brace through the core and hug the arms in. Don't let the elbows stick out. Okay? Long neck, shoulders away from ears. Now hover here as you brace through the core. You're really activating your triceps to hold here as you breathe. Keep pulling the belly into the spine. Inhaling, you're lifting through the chest. Exhaling, you maintain the hold, belly button draw it in as you relax the pelvis towards the floor. Now gently release and lower down. Wiggle the thighs closer together again. Tops of the feet start to stay initially on the mat. We're going to bring the hands behind us and airplane the arms like airplane wings here, palms face up. For Locust Shalabhasana, we'll inhale and start to lift the chest and the feet, the shins and the knees and the thighs off the floor. Breathe here. Energize your arms. Fan your fingers open. Contract it through the triceps. Upper back muscles engage a bit, right? Neck stays long. You try to pull the belly off the floor and maybe the feet up even a little bit higher. Exhale, lower the hands back down. Press up into table as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Pedal it out a few times. Adjust hands, settle the feet, hip distance apart, parallel feet here. And Ujjayi breath again as we hold and breathe. Raise right foot high as you inhale. Exhale, step it through. Back foot heel down. Check for that heel arch line or roughly heel line. And as you come into Warrior Two, you do so with an inhale as we cartwheel the arms. And exhale, we settle into Warrior Two. Now, we'll start to go a little bit lower and we'll guide the knee over towards the right a bit. Your back foot heel, you turn it inward just a bit here, but you keep the heel glued down and you bring your hips pelvis to the center. You're right in the middle. Your hands reach apart energetically, pointing through the fingers, and then gaze past your right hand. Sink a little bit lower, Virabhadrasana Dvi. Inhale as you extend. Exhale, relax with the arms and the hands. Shrug the shoulders a bit here. Good. Heel to the back foot a little bit closer. Now, your hips are underneath you. Rest your right hand on your thigh. Inhale, lift and lengthen out. Exhale, lean to your right. Maintain that lift and length. And rest the left arm behind your back. Take a little wrap. And slowly as you lower down in a modified Trikonasana triangle. Sometimes I like to bring the chin in and keep the shoulders away from ears. Then I might turn to look up towards the ceiling. But again, depends on how the neck feels. We could keep looking to the left or look down towards the floor as we gradually deepen the stretch across the back of the right leg. A block could be placed here and your hand could be on that block right now also. If you want a bit more, you're extending your top hand away. One more breath. Softly bend the knee. Inhale as you come back. Exhale, reverse your warrior. So now your palm of your right hand is facing the back of your room. As you send it back and reach overhead. Breathe into the right peripheral body here, into the rib cage, into the belly on this right side. Try not to backbend, cat out of the lower back. Inhale up and overhead. Exhale, continue to reach, sink a little bit lower. Find some comfort and ease or sukha through the neck and shoulders. Inhaling as you come back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Pivot, heel to adjust. Lower the left knee, shin, top of the left foot. Inhale as you come, low lunge. Exhale, relax your right arm behind and reach up with your left hand. You're turning to the right a bit and you're sending that left hand nice and high as you draw the belly in. Okay? Soften through the shoulders. Maybe you might sink a little bit lower here. Inhale as you come back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now shift the weight forward. and curl toes under. Nice and slow as you rise for your high lunge stance. Now, we're going to go ahead and press through that right foot and find extension, taking the bend out of the right knee. We're going to draw the right hip pelvis back just a bit, belly button in. And we might plant the left heel down. At the same time, we're trying to keep that right foot also down here. So, wider stance as you come to this sort of standing pyramid position. Gently lift the back heel off the floor now, so you're now in your high lunge Anjaneyasana. Extension through the back heel more advanced, soft bend in the knee. If you sense anything going on with the lower back, draw the tailbone underneath you and cat out of the lower back, draw the belly button in. And let's pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Inhaling. Exhale the hands back down. Lower the left knee shin, top of the left foot. Slide it back just a bit more. Hands to the floor or to the block. Inhale here. Exhale, extension, half split or Ardha Hanuman. Try to keep the sole of the right foot down. Press the top of the hand to press the top of the foot here, and the sole of the foot to the floor. Right hip back, left pelvis forward. Slowly as you release, bending knee and coming back. Now, you're going to go ahead and curl back toes so that the left knee is off the floor, and you're going to step the right foot heel back. Your left hand in the center as you come to your side plank facing your right. Beginner level, you'll bring your left knee shin top of the foot down, and you'll spin your back foot heel down. As you balance on that side, one line, as you stack up the joints on top of each other here, and you're raising the right hand nice and high. A bit more advanced, maybe you're extending that bottom foot heel away, and you might be here. A little bit more, and maybe you're here with the hips up a little bit higher, or extending that top foot heel away. Slowly as you come to high plank position again. Good. Come into your downward facing dog and give me a couple of bicycles here. Nodding head, yes, and shaking head, no. Bending and extending. Left foot, inhale it high. And exhale it all the way through. Good. Spin the back foot heel down. Your left is your lead now. As you inhale and cartwheel the arms nice and slow, floating into your warrior two position or Virabhadrasana Dvi. Shrug the shoulders maybe and shake out the arms. Heel archer, heel line. As you begin to sink a little bit lower, reach and find length. Guide that inner thigh knee open towards that pinky toe side. Back foot heel, spin it down with your foot turned inward just a bit so the toes aren't pointing away from you. And then you bring the hips to the center, sort of feel and find that center. Drishti, gaze forward past your left hand as you sink a little bit lower. Inhale, extension, take the bend out of the knee. Exhale, relax the hands together, or maybe rest them on the thighs here. Heel toe the back foot a little bit closer. Good. Heel line or heel arch line. Right hand to your waist, left hand on your thigh. Turn so that your pelvis hips come into a plane, like a sheet of paper, and you're in that sheet of paper. And in that sheet of paper is where we want to send our triangle to, right? So we keep the body extending in that plane. Inhaling and exhaling, modifying the triangle initially. So the left hand is on the shin, gradually coming down. Micro bend in the knee, in the left knee in case you need to. Don't lock out the leg. Block on this side underneath the hand in case you need it. And right arm relaxing behind your back. Pull the belly button in the whole time. Shoulders away from ears, neck nice and long. And maybe your arm, your right hand is extending up. You're broad through the upper back, or you might be going overhead with the right hand. Pressing through the middle toe, big toe, especially of the left foot. If you're looking up, chin to chest, and you're turning slowly to look up. Micro bend in your left knee, and then gradually more of a bend. Inhaling. Exhaling, reversing your warrior. Again, cat out of your lower back so you're not back bending. Your legs and feet are set up just like a warrior too, but now the palm of the left hand is facing the back and you're reaching up and overhead actively. Into the left periphery, ribcage belly is where you're breathing, and you're trying to sink a little bit lower. Inhale as you come around. Exhale as you cartwheel the hands down. Heel toe adjust. Lower the right knee, shin, top of the right foot. Low lunge position. Inhale and come up high with the hands. Exhale, your left starts to sweep down. As you turn a bit to your left, you're reaching up with that right hand arm. Belly button in. Again, find sukha, comfort, ease through the neck and shoulders. But do maintain that lift as you turn a bit more to your left. And you might lower down just a bit more here. Maintaining that conscious Ujjayi breath. Inhale as we come back. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Good. Now, curl toes under, okay? And start to lift up the right knee. Brace through the core. Heel toe adjust the left foot if you need to. And nice and slow as you rise into your lunge position. Again, see if you can press simultaneously and extend out and up. And then see if you could spin that back foot heel down. So just a standing pyramid position here. No forward folding. Maintaining the pressing through the ball of the left foot. Left hip draw it back. Right pelvis forward. Now a little bend in the knee. And it becomes Anjaneyasana or high crescent lunge. Your right heel just came off the floor also. Inhaling here. Exhaling, settle into it. Shoulders draw it down. Left pelvis draw it back. Belly button in. Up with the hands as you reach. And pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale the hands back down. Lower the right knee shin, top of the right foot. Inhale here. Exhale, extend. Now sometimes I'll have to heel or walk the right knee back just a bit to come to that half split Ardha Hanumanasana. Left hip draw it back and up, right pelvis slightly forward and down. Sole of the left foot, try to keep it down here as you relax into your fold, belly button in. Slowly as you release. Again, curl toes under here. Okay, hands to the floor or to the block. You're picking up the left foot, send it back, shake out the leg. Optional flow. Transition. If you skip the flow, you're in downward facing dog and you'll bicycle it out a few times. Settle the heels for 2 breaths. Good. Now as you hover to your high plank position, again beginner level, now you're lowering the right knee shin, top of the foot down, and you want to go ahead and adjust the hands so that the hand is just about underneath the shoulder here. Eye of the elbow facing forward. Back foot heel beginner level, you'll spin it down and you'll try to come into this plane and your side plank might be here. If you want to gradually add layers, you're going to pick up that right foot heel and extend it away. And then gradually you're adding more layers. Again, mindful with your practice. Modify as you need to. Slowly as you release and come back around. Pick up that right arm and circle it around a little bit. Shake out the wrist. Hand comes down. Pick up the left side. Circle it around maybe and circle out through the wrist. Good. Lower down to the forearms and walk the feet in for dolphin. If your hands are kind of triangled up in the front, that's okay. But try to keep the hands parallel if possible. Place a block between the hands here. That'll help. Look back, relax through the neck here and press floor away through the forearms and do your best to try to get the heels closer to the mat. Active with the quadriceps contracting, belly in. Good. Lower the knees down. Sit back onto the heels or place a block between the feet and sit on the block. Come up to Vajrasana or diamond pose here. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. And again, as you extend through the arms, hands apart, make a fist and circle the wrists around. Maintain that energetic reach and length through the hands. As you circle the wrists around, the fists around about the wrist joints. Good. Now, your right arm comes under your left for eagle. So if you can't get the full eagle wrap, the forearm hooks behind the tricep across, and you can bring it across and down to stretch the back of the deltoid on the left side. If your hands can come, and you can do this with the hands, or you can kind of even get the interlace, then it's just a bit more firm, and you get a slightly deeper stretch as you come and go ahead, and you're releasing through that left shoulder side. Sit up tall, belly in, neck is nice and long. Close the eyes and tune into the breath. as you release. And shake out the shoulders a little bit again. Shrug them up, forward, and down. Inhale, sweep arms. And exhale, left under right this time. Same modification, or you're coming for the full wrap. And you're going to go ahead and bring them to the center and down to stretch the back of the right deltoid here. Shoulders away from ears. Crown of the head extending upward. Belly button, draw it in. Focus on the breath. Slowly as you release. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, bring the hands back to tabletop position. Inhale, curl toes. Exhale, knees up, hips up, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, bicycle it out here. Good. And start to settle the feet down. Fingers nice and wide open. Neck long as you press floor away. Energetic with the quadriceps contracting. If your heels touch down comfortably, lift the toes maybe even off the floor and keep them lifted. Breathing through the nose. Good. Right foot heel, inhale it high this time. And exhale, Shavasana. Stack up the right hip above the left here. Look under the right armpit towards the ceiling. Belly button, draw it in. Try to press evenly into the hands. Your weight might shift quite a bit to your left hand. Now we're going to change it up just a little bit here. I'm going to bring the left forearm elbow towards the floor, but my right hand and elbow are still on the right side, up a little bit higher. As I come back to center, I'll press and come into the three-legged dog as I inhale. Exhaling, knee to forehead or nose. Inhale as you go back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Now beginner level. You might rest here or you might take a break. More advanced, you're holding, you're hovering. A bit more advanced, you'll adjust the hands a little bit closer. Draw the belly in. Start to hover your weight forward. And you want to bring your inner thigh over the back of the right elbow and tricep as you hover here. Softly as you land, inhale the right leg back up high. And exhale it all the way through. Now slowly, as you come to high lunge with inhale, exhale, hands can relax to heart center. Now, you're shifting the weight forward as you draw the right hip back, left pelvis forward. Beginner level, gently lower your left knee, shin, top of the left foot down towards the floor. Facing forward. Inhale, you turn to your right. And exhale, you lean a bit forward and plant the left tricep, armpit outside of the thigh. Now you're extending and lifting out of your waist and draw the belly in. If you want a bit more, curl toes and extend and lift the knee off the floor, extending through the heel. As you circle back to center, exhale your hands back down. Now, hop that back foot in just a little bit and plant the left foot heel down. You want the heel to be down. And then you'll see how much you can extend across the back of the right leg. This is where blocks might come in handy. One on the left side,
one on the right side, and your hands on the blocks. As you lengthen out of the waist with inhale, exhaling forward fold for the pyramid. Relax through the head and neck and shoulders and try to pull the belly in. Now, a little micro bend in the right knee. A bit more advanced option. The hands come back here now, okay? And I'm going to be on the fingertips, really kind of gripping the mat. A little micro bend in that knee. A lot of core compression here as I start to shift the weight again into the hands, but at the same time pressing into the right foot to get that extension. As I do that and I come into the hold, I'll try to draw the left knee towards my forehead. Core compression, belly in. Slowly as you release. Now, bend the knee, circle to your left, and Skasandasana on the left side as you extend through the right side. Beginner level, maybe your back heel is off the floor here on the left side, your hands to the floor. A bit more advanced, you're trying to sit with the heel down, hip off the floor, and extend it through the crown of the head, flexing toes towards you. Option, of course, here, if you want to bring the left arm across the left knee shin, draw the belly in, and your right floating around, and you might have a bind here. The hands might find each other. So here I'll shift my weight forward a bit so the heel comes off the floor, then maybe I could get that bind. Long neck, belly in. Slowly as you release, shift the weight over to the right side and extension through the left side. Or you're here with the hands and the heel higher off the floor. And when we come back around, we'll do the bind later on that side. So we'll come to this position again later on. Slowly now, we come to center. We wiggle a little bit left and right. Move a little bit here. And we come to an even Prasarita Padottanasana, separate legs standing forward fold. Nice and long. Shift the weight into the heels a bit here as your hips move back. Now the crown of the head extends away from you as you inhale, and the weight shifts back into slightly into the balls of the feet again. Inhale here. Exhale as you forward fold. Good. With a little micro bend in your knees, slowly as you come back. You'll begin to circle with the hands to your right again, so you come to face forward. Heel toe adjust that right side if you need to. Now, in your runner's lunge position, you're here, and maybe you have blocks underneath the hands and blocks are nearby. As you start to shift the weight forward, your left foot and leg hover off the floor. So you're extending through that left heel away. Square up through the hips. Bending knees as you inhale. And extend it away. Now keep your left hand to the floor or to the block. Sweep open to the right as you inhale for revolved half moon. Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. Belly in, broad through the neck and shoulders. If you're looking up, chin towards chest, activating Jalandhara Bandha, and then turn to look up towards the ceiling. Slowly as you release and come back. Plant that left foot heel back down. Left hand to the floor or to the block. Revolve triangle. Block again on the left side here in case you need to. Wider stance is okay. Inhale to sweep open. Belly in, right hip back, left pelvis forward and down. Exhale as your right hand comes back. Soft bend in your right knee and your left steps forward. Feet together, heels together. Sit nice and low, hands to the floor for support, and sit on the heels here. If a deeper flexion bugs the knees, you can go ahead and be back here, maybe with hands onto the blocks. But if you can come here nice and slow, hug the knees into the chest. Those that want a bit more, as you squeeze the ankles, feet together, you'll press into the balls of the feet and the heels come high off the floor. Neck long, draw the shoulders away from ears, sucking the belly. Exhale your hands back down, nice and slow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, adjust the feet and heel toe the feet a little further apart. Now again, come with the forearms, supporting your weight, your torso, and shift your weight a bit into the heels. Neck long, belly button draw it in. Gently shake the head no. And nod the head yes. Now inhale, come to your chair. Exhale as you stand. Shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Good. Now, support the lower back here. Massage the lower back. Really get the fingers in there and press and kind of massage the upper hips a little bit here and the lower back muscles. Now, belly button draw it in. Gradually as you lift, pranic inhale, lifting, extending upwards. With the exhale, a gentle upper back bend. Pelvis forward, belly in, soft bend in the knees maybe. Or you might be activating the quadriceps more and straightening out the legs. Be mindful with the lower back. Slowly as you release. Inhale, sweep arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Lift, lengthen halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Bicycle a few times and settle the heels down. Take a breath here. Exhale it out. One more. Exhale it out. Left foot heel, inhale it high. And Shavasana, open hips to the left, press hands into the floor evenly as you press, and stack up the left hip above the right. Look under the left armpit towards the ceiling. Try to glue the right foot heel down, and you might lower down to the right forearm. Keep the neck long, shoulders away from ears. Press into the hand to come back to three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose or forehead, hover, hold. Send it back, inhale. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, armpit or tricep. Beginner level, you might take a child's pose or rest. If you want a bit more to set up the arm balance, your hands come back a bit. Bend elbows a bit, eyes of the elbows face forward, hover weight forward, and again bring that thigh, inner thigh, outside the back of the left arm. Elbows underneath you as you hover. As you plant and come back, inhale the left foot high. Exhale it all the way through. Adjust the back foot heel slowly as you rise for your high lunge on this side. Shrug through the shoulders a bit. Take a few breaths. Shake out the hands and wrists, especially if you were doing that arm balance. Good. Now, hands to heart center. Slowly lower down, right knee, shin, releasing top of the right foot. Okay? So we'll start always at the beginner level. We're going to inhale, lift, lengthen out. And with the exhale, we're bringing the right tricep armpit outside of the left thigh. Left on top of right. Left hand on top of right hand. Belly button, draw it in. The inhales, you're thinking extension and lift and elongation of the spine away from the waist, out of the waist. With the exhale, belly button, draw it in, and you might increase the twist just a bit more, okay? Any lower back issues, you don't want to go deep into these twists. If you want a bit more, you're extending and lifting up the right knee, extending the right heel away. Long neck, shoulders away from ears. Slowly, as you release, back to center. Blocks with you here, one on each side, or hands to the mat. That back foot comes in just a bit, so you could plant the right foot heel down. Your hips are squared up facing forward as you draw your left hip back and your right pelvis forward. You start to relax into your forward fold. Before you do, elongation and length with the inhale. And then as you round back and fold. Micro bend right left knee if you need to, forehead to knee. And bandha's active here, especially the belly. Pull it up into the spine. Good. Now a little micro bend in your left knee. Your hands again might come to this position. This is a bit more advanced, right? Your hands turn and they're pointing away from you now. Fingertips to the floor. Now you're going to start to really compress through the core and you're pressing into the fingertips into the hand. You might even have the blocks there. And belly button in. And as you press into the ball of the left foot and draw the belly in, you try to bring the right knee close to the forehead as you really round through the back. A lot of compression here. The exhales have to be strong. Slowly, as you release, bending through the knee. Now you're going to circle to your right and sit on the right side for Skasandasana. Again, ninja on this side. And maybe you're on the heel and you're extending, or maybe the heel is off the floor just a bit here. Option for that right arm to come across the shin as you limp arms to the palm of your right hand is facing up. Lift and lengthen out of the waist here. Inhaling, sweeping left arm. And exhaling, coming around for the wrap and the bind. And maybe your hands find each other. Extension through the left heel. Slowly, as you release, shifting weight to the left side and extension of the right side. Heel touching down. You can also be back here with the hands behind you or hands in front here. As you gently release and come back to center, you're probably facing the other direction wherever you are, and you come back to your separate leg standing stretch one more time. Let's go ahead and come up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and turn around just to make sure I'm facing you. So we'll come up starting first. Okay? We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn the feet out a little bit here. We're going to draw that belly in and tuck tailbone underneath us to release a bit through the lower back there, right? Now, as you lower down, start to shift the weight into the ball of your right foot and lift the right heel off the floor. Lower the heel down. Shift the ball into your left foot and lift the left heel off the floor. Lower the heel down. Shift into the balls of both feet. Both heels come off the floor. Draw the belly and tuck tailbone underneath you for goddess pose here. As you hover, heels nice and high, hips maybe a little bit lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Settle the heels down, extend and lift, turn, and heel toe the feet wider apart. Slightly pigeon toe the feet in. Keep a little micro bend in the knees if you need to. Interlace hands behind the back. Maybe the palms come together this time. Inhale for variation C of Prasarita. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you forward fold. And you might heel toe the feet a little wider apart, and maybe the top of the head gets a little bit closer to the mat. Active with the hands as you bring them overhead. Neck long, shoulders away from ears. Uddiyana Bandha engaged as you pull the belly in. Slowly, as you release, the hands come back to the floor first. Come up with the torso just a bit here. Support your weight. Micro bend right and left a bit here. And again, you're circling to come facing forward as you step the foot back. You probably stepped the left foot back for you because I turned around, so it doesn't matter. You were both facing forward now. Hover to plank as you inhale. And Chaturanga as you exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog with inhale. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Bicycle it out a few times. Good. Now, send that left foot forward. Spin that back foot heel in and down. Actually, let's go ahead and keep the right heel up and hover forward. Start to hover that back foot heel off the floor. As you bring the knees in, you're bending the knees a bit, right? So again, blocks on the floor on each side, or just one block is okay too. Inhale and exhale, extension. Stamp that back wall with your right foot heel. Bring it in again as you inhale, and then extension as you exhale. Now maintain that lift and that extension. Belly button in, and maybe right hand down to the floor or to the block. Square up the hips here for a revolved half moon to your left. Parivrita Ardha Chandrasana. softly as the hand comes back, and the right foot goes ahead and lands and comes back down. The feet are in that triangle pyramid position with the right hand down. Lift, lengthen, elongate with inhale. And as you go ahead and rotate open to the left here, reach up with the left hand for revolve triangle. Slowly, as you come back, a little bend in your left knee and hop that right foot forward or walk it forward. This time the feet a little bit wider and we'll sit for a low squat malasana. Sit up nice and tall. Hands come together. Shake the head no. Nod the head yes. Go ahead and sit back and send the feet forward. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Hug the knees in here. Sometimes I'll keep the feet together, sometimes I'll cross them, but I'll extend up and out of the waist as I hug the knees in. Shoulders away from ears, neck nice and long to release a bit through the lower back. Now, gradually as you set up your boat pose, beginner level, you're here, you hook the hands under so that you have a little bit of support so you could sit up nice and tall. If you want a bit more, you're releasing as you come into your boat pose. Core stays active as you suck in belly. If you want a bit more, extension as you lift, and you might hook the arms, hands underneath, and walk up the back of the calves and the legs a little bit higher, trying to reach for the heels or below the ankles here. Maintain that extension. Again, a lot of core compression here. And you might point to it through the toes as you draw the belly in and you try to fold yourself like you're doing a forward fold. Slowly, as you release, cross the legs, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, hands rest behind you here. Now lift the hips off the floor, and relax the head back open and stretch through the throat. Press the hips forward here, belly button, draw it in. Lower the hips down. Any foot that was in front of the other, switch places with the way you crossed your feet and your shins. Have the hands, fingers pointing away. Again, shoulders are back and down, so you're maintaining that lift through the chest. Engage the glutes, press into the hands, and inhale the hips high, up and forward again. Exhaling as you release. Send the feet, legs forward. Shake out the legs a little bit. Good. Sit up nice and tall. Now, go ahead and sit back just a bit here. Lift out of the waist. Inhale as you sweep arms. Exhaling for Paschimottanasana as we forward fold. Peace fingers can hook the big toes. You could use a strap or a towel around your feet. You can grab your feet if you're more flexible. A block, you could place it at the end and your hands can come around the block like so. I'm a bit tighter through the lower muscles of my back a little bit today, so still a little bit stiff from a few days ago, but maybe I could reach the block. I'll draw the belly in at the same time, soften through the shoulders. I'll try to maintain the lift and length out of the waist. Good. Slowly as you release. Good. Let's go ahead and scoot forward and come down to the back. Hug the knees into the chest. Circle the knees around a little bit here, massaging the lower back. Excellent. And then go ahead and lower the feet down. For a bridge pose, feet are going to start close together, and then we're going to wiggle them apart and keep them parallel with the knees and thighs as the head comes down to rest. Now, belly button, draw it in, press evenly into the feet, and lift the hips up here, engaging through the glutes. Option to interlace hands behind the back, underneath you, as you send the knuckles towards the heels. Sometimes you could bring the feet in and reach from the outside and grab the ankles and then send the hips up high. You'll still get a pretty good stretch through the back of the neck, especially if you bring the chin in towards the chest and towards the throat. Activate those glutes and send the hips up high. Slowly as you release, wiggle the hands, arms, shoulders out, and extend the legs out here. Shake out the legs a little bit here, and relax through the shoulders. Get nice and open and relax on the floor. Take a slow breath through the nose. Exhale it out. Another deep inhale. Exhale it out. Good. Option for a second round of bridge, or if you have a wheel practice, you can start to set up your wheel. Now, the hands position themselves this way. So the fingers are pointing in towards the shoulders. Elbows are up, and I try to keep them close here. I'll bring the feet closer towards me, and I'll start to make sure that I'm ready to press into the hands and into the feet. I might come to the top of the head first, or I might start to press, engage through the glutes, and belly button, I'll draw it in as I, again, tilt that pelvis and bring that tailbone underneath, okay? That energetic action has to be there to protect the lower back, okay? Begin to inhale and lift and extend as you press through the hands also. If you want a bit more, you're coming away and onto the tippy toes, extending arms away. You're sending the heart through, and belly button, draw it in. Slowly as you lower down, head, shoulders rest. Hug the knees right into the chest here. Wrap the arms around and roll into a ball shape for Apanasana. Press the lower back into the floor and decompress through the lower back. Good. Now, for a passive twist, I like to come to my left side first. So knees over to the left side, wiggle the hips a bit to the right side. If you want to go into a deeper twist, you can. Just make sure that through the upper back and shoulders, you're grounded down as you settle into the twist here. Breathing into the right rib cage belly, allowing that to expand and open as you relax there.
And as you exhale, you might look to the right and deepen the twist a bit more with the left hand gently pulling the thigh away and rolling that right thigh away and towards the floor. Slowly as you release, float the knees back in and up to center. Exhale over to the right side, wiggle the hips a little bit to the left. And then now for your passive twist on this side, or a deeper twist if you have that in your practice. Rest again through the upper back, neck and shoulders. Palm of the right hand outside of the left thigh. Maybe gaze to the left, but do allow the belly rib cage to expand on the left side as you inhale. Exhaling. And gently as you release and come back to center here. Good. We're pretty much ready to set up now for our Shavasana. You can relax the legs completely out, and so you could lie flat. If you're near a wall, you could put your mat next to that wall and come from the side with your hips up against the wall and keep the legs elevated with the feet up, right? For Viparita Karani as opposed to a traditional Shavasana. If you have the block, you could place the block like a flat brick underneath your hips here, and you can simulate Viparita Karani with your legs upwards this way, with the feet up in the air, whichever is more comfortable for you, okay? Get into a comfortable position, wiggle the shoulders around a little bit, and soften through the upper back and shoulders. If you have a shoulder stand or a figure four stretch or anything else that you like to do, please feel free to do those asanas before you settle for your final one. And once you're there, begin to relax through the throat, close the eyes, allow the breath to gradually return to normal. Eyelids heavy, soft, easy, steady breath. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers and toes a bit here, and gradually begin to also lengthen the breath through the nose. And sigh, release through the mouth as you exhale. Maybe as you blink the eyes open here and move through the hands and the wrists a little bit. Move the ankles and circle about the ankle joint on each side. Now we'll go ahead and place the left hand over the heart, over the chest on the left side. Right hand, place it over the belly on the right side. Allow the shoulders and arms to soften down, and your elbows and arms can rest on the floor beside you. Lengthen breath through the nose. Exhale it out. This time, notice the rise of the chest and belly. Exhale, sigh it out. Blink the eyes open. Good. Circle the hands and the wrists around a little bit here. Reach overhead. Take a nice long stretch. Exhale, hug the knees back in. Maybe forehead to knee again, or maybe you wrap the arms around in Apanasana. Good. Rock to a seated position, or you could come to your favorite side and then come to a seated position here. Let's go ahead and face each other. You can welcome to sit on a block if you want. And Sukhasana or comfort pose as we sit cross-legged, or any other way that you like to seal and finish and finalize your practice. Okay? So shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a few times, and then lightly rotate through the head and neck. Also nod the head, yes, slowly, a few times. If you like those neck stretches, nice and easy on each side. Excellent. Let's go ahead and seal our practice. We'll sweep, inhale, arms overhead. We'll exhale and bring the hands together and lower them down over the heart center. We'll lower our gaze, or maybe close the eyes as we seal our practice together here. Thank you again for your time, for joining me. I hope you maintain your health and your well-being through these uncertain times. I appreciate you committing to your practice on a regular basis and joining me here in my studio here at home. So thank you again. I look forward to our next session. Until then, stay healthy, travel safely if you do, and namaste.